What's up, guys? This is Void of Dust Gaming, your channel for fresh Arena of Valor content, and today the spotlight is on Lindis in the jungle, one of my most favorite marksmen in the jungle. I think she is still a really viable pick on this position. Of course, there are better junglers than her in the current meta right now, but I'm going to show you a 5Q match where I was fielding her as the jungler. And yeah, I think it's the second or third time that I've ever played with the reworked Lindis. I don't know if you guys have noticed that or if you have ever played against her, because she's rarely seen on the battlefield, especially in my matches. I think I haven't seen her in the last 100 on either of the sides, but she has received a rework. In my opinion, back in the days, she played a little bit confusing. She was some sort of mage with 5 stacks on her ult, where you were able to flinch out some kind of ghost shots upon the enemies, and with the new dash that's going to launch several attacks, she feels a lot more like the role she is supposed to fill. She is now more sorts of a really mobile and quite nimble marksman, and I think it really suits her quite well, and I like her even more than I did before, and that made me want to show you this kind of video. And I would say, without further ado, I'm going to show you my building layout. I think it can be updated. I just wanted to try the old build, tweaked a little bit, and see how I'm going to make use of her, but I am going to talk about some adjustments that I would make in hindsight after I played the match to make her even more powerful. So let's get this started. Equipment wise, as you can see, we're building all the lovely attack items. She's an AD carry, so we're not focusing on everything that's going to get any utility to the board. Instead, we are focusing on attack speed on the one hand and some armor pierce on the other hand. Muramasa is here because we are playing against some tanks, but the main build consists of Scorching Wind and the Clave Sancti, as well as Fenrir's Tooth. And I have been throwing in the attack boots as well as the Slick Stings here for additional attack speed increase. If there is a lot of CC that's going to be thrown upon you, you can go with the Gilded Greaves instead, and you can check out any other item on her as well. But I think the consistent thing is the Scorching Wind as well as the Clave Sancti for the additional damage for crits and the enhanced crit chance. And we're going to continue with this kind of method here in the Arcana section, because I'm using my so-called crit build, which enhances the critical chance by 16%. That comes from 10 times Atrocity. Then we're going with Guerrilla here at level 3, which gives us more movement speed and, of course, more attack speed. More attack speed means that we got more chances to crit, so we're taking this over pure damage. And in the last bracket, I'm going with Skewer for the additional armor pierce right from the start of the game, because that's what we're going to field whenever we hit level 1 and start the game. Enchantment wise, as I said, I'm focusing on some kind of an old build with her, and I think Forest Wanderer was actually quite valid in those days. So I had this kind of defensive line. Now it's called defensive line. Before it was like bush something, and then we're going with Nature's Gift, which isn't really the stuff that you want to have on her. Of course, more HP just means that you can survive in the fights a little bit longer. And then we've got Forest Wanderer for the additional slow that we're going to cause on order attacks, as well as our abilities. And then we're going with Axe of Sacrifice and the Blessing. But I would say right now you are better equipped with going with Lockheim, and then going with the stuff where you are going to curse enemies. I think that's a lot better than the Forest Wanderer, but you can see for yourself. Like, this is a video where we are going to feature the Forest Wanderer enchantment, and you guys are going to see if this is something that's suitable for you. And if you want more damage, you should rather go with Lockheim in the first tree, or you should change that for the Veda and then go for the sacred, what's it called? Let's see, Sacred Blessing, Sacred Protection. It's this one, Holy Thunder. So this is your main source of damage. Either this, or you can go with Lockheim, and then you are going to build up into this one, Curse of the Death. This is the stuff that you should rather use on her, I suppose. This is just a gut feeling that I've got from the game. And the game is what we are going to talk about right now. And if you like this kind of content, of course, give it a thumbs up if you like it. Give it a thumbs down if you didn't really like what I'm going to show you right now. And of course, new subscriptions are super valid for my channel growth. So if you want to support my channel, hit the subscription button if you haven't already, and hit the subscription bell to never miss any of my videos, and click all those videos and look at all these videos in full length. That's really going to help me out with this channel. So without any more talk, let's just hop right into the game so that we can talk about what Lindis is actually capable of doing. Let's go. Alright guys, let's get started. So this video was uploaded straight after UA hit the spot, so a lot of things have devolved since that, but I think the most important thing is that we are talking about patch 35 right now. So we've got the new Thane rework, we've got UA introduced to the game, and we've got some tweaks around enchantments and some of the items, and this is something that we need to put into consideration. So we've got the new Thane already with the jump instead of just hitting the ground with his sword. This is the new Thane, and we're going to see how well this performs, because I think I haven't showed you the new Thane on this channel yet. So this is another good point where we are going actually to talk about this. So did I upgrade it into another item? I think Scorching Wind is the better item to go for. If I've taken Soul Reaver, that's a bummer, because I just switched it to the other item. I think Scorching Wind is the one that you should take into consideration, because it's going to increase your attack speed, and that's going to be quite beneficial on her. So I don't even know what I was doing. Like, did I change it? Just to be fair about this, like what I did, I was actually looking at the post-game stats and my equipment choices, and I saw that I was doing Scorching Wind here, and therefore I thought that I would be talking about Scorching Wind. Now I've taken... Okay, there we go. So this is the complete wrong setup. You should always go for the first upgrade of the item, of the jungle item at first, and then afterwards you can do boots, and this is the correct sequence. So this was really complicated at the beginning of the game. I was messing up because I think I didn't have a kind of specified jungle build, and therefore the confusion was awakening in myself or in me, but okay, we sorted it. So I've taken a different pathing, but the main idea is that the one that you are going to upgrade Scorching Wind to your first item, the Whispering Wind, and as soon as you hit the Whispering Wind, you're going for your movement item, the boots, and then as soon as you hit that, you are going to get into the fun part where you are actually going to upgrade your jungle item to the last bit, and that's when you are sorted to get out and get some fights. While I was talking about different setups and mistakenly strategies that I've been taking in terms of the item paths, I've been already scoring 2 deaths here, or 2 kills if you're taking my side of view, and I think the first Varus one was super lucky. I don't know what was going on with Varus, because she could have easily prevented me killing her by just going back to base and going back to safety. And the reason why I just switched right into the top line was because I saw that a lot of stuff is going on here, and I wanted to support my team just in case that there are even more enemies to come. And therefore I left the red buff by himself and made my way straight into the bottom lane in order to support my team here with some additional damage. And the damage output from Lindis is just way over the top right now. Of course, she is situational. She is an AD carry. That means that she has to work out or work with the stuff that AD carries are actually suffering from, which means, in my opinion, you need more gear on them to make them work. Mages are a lot stronger right now in the game because, as you might know, in the patch 34, so that was the one that was released in December, a lot of items have received a nerf in terms of the magic resistance, which means that some of the mages got even stronger right now, especially Natalia and Yue are really profiting from it. And in this kind of case, it just means that we need to take a closer look on how strong mages are right in the game. And I just read something in my Discord today where someone was telling us, okay guys, if you want to be successful in the solo lane, the only way that you can make it work is basically take in a mage or the jungler, but all the other picks are something that you won't take if you want to be successful in terms of dominating the game or actually bringing some value to the table. And I had some process of thought here, but I think that's closest to the correct sense, because what you want to do in the solo lane is you really want to make an impact with your play, and therefore you need to take positions that are actually going to be able to make a difference. And mages are really strong right now in the game, in the current meta. I mean, we're talking about the 17th of February right now, where I'm going to get this gameplay for you. I think it's going to be uploaded on my channel a little bit later because I've got many videos in advance that I just pre-post, so that I've got enough fodder if covered hits me or anything else makes way. Now we just need to defend that. I think that's an easy task for Lindis to do, and her ultimate is just out of this world. Like, it's just become this crazy burst instrument where you are just using your ultimate to just fire a couple of shots into the enemies. You've got ways to lighten up the bushes here so that there will be no kind of it's like an ambush or something like that, so you can just light them up with your spells, and you even get more damage with that. And this is something that I really like about Lindis. I really like this character. I love the skin that I just received. I think it was over this kind of monthly login thing where you had to log in for 20 days and then you get a free skin, and that's what happened. So I just adore her. It's just my kind of playstyle. I think she has become even better with all the additions that they made to the game. Now she feels a lot more consistent with the new ultimate. And as you can see, I'm already taking 4 kills here. Of course, I have been dying twice, but I've got the gold lead in this game, and I think everything went actually quite smooth. And if I would pay a little bit more attention to the game and take it a little bit more serious, the stats would be even better. So this is the condition that we're talking about right now. What I've not been focusing so much in this gameplay is getting objectives. So this is something that I should work on. For example, now the whole attention is based onto the middle lane and all the towers that we received there, and this is going to be a good entrance to get the Abyssal Dragon here. And I think this was the right call. Like, get the 30% damage buff from the new Abyssal Dragon is something that my team is going to benefit from, and therefore I was going in here. I was talking to my team, telling them what my plan was about. As I said, this is a 5Q game, so all the players, all the people are in communication on the Discord server, and therefore we were able to make good plays and get the enemies into our hands because the communication was there and everyone wasn't knowing about what everyone else was about to do. So this is another shutdown on Emily. I think she really forced it. It's not really that much that she could do against it if she's going to play so offensively, and 5 kills already is actually going to make good use of my equipment. The gold income is good, and I could just continue farming. And as you can see, this is 9 minutes played, and we have already received the 30 stacks on my item. So this is really good. Unfortunately, Yue is there, and she's really giving me a hard time because her spells are just incredibly powerful. That said, I haven't really found the build to go for with Lindis. I mean, what I just wanted to prove, or what I just wanted to show you guys in this video, is my way to approach Lindis with all the new stuff that was added to the game. But I think the build overall can be even better if I would have more play hours and more opportunities to play her, and that which would just put me to the point where I would be actually able to tell this item is better than that in not a situation, but on Lindis especially. So this is not a beginner's guide. This is more of some kind of overview on how I am going to work with Lindis in the current state of the game, with the stuff that I have known so far about her and what had worked for me in the past. But I think we need to reconsider how Lindis is played in the future, and what kind of build, what kind of item stuff is really going to work for her. I think especially in this situation, Gilded Greaves would have been a nice addition instead of the attack boots, but you guys are going to see that we're going to have actually a lot of damage out there. So the damage output was really, really nice. Now we are going against the Thane. I think the positioning was perfect. We were not hit by anything, but you can see that I struggle a little bit on dealing damage towards him, and therefore Yue and Wisp were able to farm me off, and that basically just Thane was the reason why I decided to take Muramasa here, in order to just pierce through his armor with ease and take that threat out of the game. And he's on 1-4, but he's still being really, really painful because he's just got this new kind of kid where he's able to just jump into your face and deal a lot of damage. And you can tell that our Thane is doing a good job because he's going to be the MVP later on in the game. A little bit of some sort of spoiler here, but I think the new Thane is actually really, really nice. I think they did a really good job on getting Thane to a new level. Bloodbath here on our Varus. Again, I'm going against Emily. She's just an easy target. She's not really having that much armor, and therefore my ultimate is going to be devastating her in most sorts of things. And what we're going to do right now is basically just play around the middle lane, trying to see if we can make a play. But the problem is Lindis is not really a pusher in laning, but she's more of a threat when it comes to surprise moves. That's her stuff. For example, like this. That was a shutdown that you need to write home about. Like, this was really, really nice. That shutdown was really convenient. Being able to get Yue out of the game, which means that we can now start to do some pushing, because her overall dangerous level is actually really, really nice with the long range of her spells. It takes us some time to get into the movement. But the good thing about this is that Lindis, with the new ultimate and this short range dash, has now actually some kind of instrument where she can just reposition herself, which was not kind of something that she was been able to do in the past. Like back in the days, you were just using your ultimate to just kind of do some mage stuff and harass people and slow them down. But I think this new item, this new addition, is a lot more convenient. Look at that. Look at that damage. So this was just the ultimate and some auto attacks coming from my passive. And the passive is always there if you are sitting in a bush, and you should always try to use a bush as long as there is one. This is your bread and butter. You should always try to stack up your passive in the bush, and then you're going for the kill. This quadra kill, that was so unfortunate. Like, that was really something that we did not need at this point of the game. You can see that our UA player was still trying to get along with UA, trying to get into the game with her, get to know her abilities. And I had some struggles before with UA because it just feels not that natural to play her. She's got a unique playstyle, and you need some games in to really practice how you make best use of her skills, especially because of these awkward templates that she's going to throw around in the game. And therefore, not blaming anyone, it's just something that you need to get used to in order to make it work. And I think now a lot of players got used to UA, unfortunately, and now they're just there to rain havoc upon you and just be this mage nightmare from the back, and this is really going to cause a lot of trouble. That said, I think I could have dealt with Emily on my own. It was still quite threatening how much damage she was able to put out in a single blow, so positioning is key. Here it comes into mind again, and now we've got a really good opportunity to go into the tower, but we don't really have any minions, so this is something we did a good job on pushing the towers. So this is like 3 towers versus 5, I suppose, if I'm correct. Yeah, so it's now 2 towers versus 5, but now we need to be super careful on how we take this approach, and it's going to take another one in order to secure the game, because now we need to retreat. But the good call is this was the second core tower, so we are really closing in right now. I've got the abilities to get this other tower, so it's now just 1 tower before super minion. So I think this is actually quite comforting. So relaxation kicks in, and I'm about to build Fenrir's Tooth in order to get my last item. But I suppose just why I was talking about relaxing things, Wisp was clearing our red buff, but I still have a red buff up, so this is all right. I can set some traps here in order to detect them if they're going to approach it, and I just took some time here in order to reload my mana and get back to full health in order to make some plays. And as you can see, I'm here with the gold lead, so everything is going to be quite fine, but I have a role to fill. There is some determination that I need to at least help out to carry the fight, and now it is quite important what our next step is going to be, because this is going to determine the outcome of the game. Are we going to succeed? I guess it's going to be this one team fight in the end, and unfortunately Dark Slayer has been introduced to the game, and now we need to repel it. So we are fighting against it, but as you can see, here is some damage on the Wisp, and I think that was actually quite crucial, just to show Wisp I'm still here and I can just put you in your place, and you should know the deal. I can just push you into something, and you need to be careful. So it's sometimes not about just killing things, but just tell those things that you're able to kill them, and that's something that's sometimes even more worth than not doing anything at all. So here we go. I defended it correctly. I think positioning wasn't the best. I tried to go with Yue, and you can see that she's dealing a lot of damage to me. Of course, I'm not building any magic resistance or something like that. So now I need to be careful, because one Wisp ult can completely ruin my day. and I just decided to go back to get some health while my team is defending the base. I think we've got a good loadout here. There's nothing that should be super surprising. Again, a lot of UA damage incoming, and I was super lucky on not being hit by the Thane ult. I think the range of the Thane ult has limited a little bit. At least for me in the past, it seemed to be a little bit longer. But I need to be really, really careful right now. Going to put something down here. I'm going to put some damage into Yui there. And this is a really important kill. Getting... Oh, that was Isha. That wasn't Yui. But Isha is annoying, so that's another important kill here. And as you can see, 2000 on the crit is actually the stuff that we're spotting about. So we've got the damage. We just need to transfer it into the enemies and everything is going to be good. We've got a speed multiplier here. So I think that's something that we can make use of when we are about to hit that wisp. And here we go. I don't know how this worked, but it doesn't matter because it was important to kill Wisp here. So one of the main damage dealers who was able to just secure a quadra kill a couple of minutes before is dead. Two enemies are already not participating in the base defense, and that just means that we've got more free hands here in order to make it work. Here we go. Unfortunately, I'm not able to kill Isha here, so that means that her pet is going to get back, and where is the skill? Unfortunate, really unfortunate. And now I'm even using my ult in order to get away, and I just decided to go back and do some clearing here. I think I did that for the red buff. Yeah, I suppose that was the red buff thing. But as you can see, 957, that's actually a really good score for me. Yui can get the blue buff. I'm not willing to take it if she can make better use of it. And now it's time to scout the Abyssal Dragon. As you can see, the enemies were already on that. So this is an important kill. The tank is dead, and that just means that my team is actually able to close in. Unfortunately, Varys is not there. Yui isn't killed. Now Yui is killed, so my team got all the time in the world to deal with Isha. Varys is about to get into the mid lane. She's going to push it. Enemies are down. 3 seconds on Emily, but we are still alive with 3 people. That means that with the help of Yue, who is standing in the back, me being gold leader against Wisp, we now can completely tell them what we want to do. And as you can see, my team is closing in. Emily is going down. I think that was a really bad misplay here. She was up front, but we made it work, and I think it just shows how beautiful well Lindis is actually playing in the current meta. Of course, she's not a meta pick, but I like the way she plays. I really adore her playstyle. I think it has become even better with the new reworked ult, and I want to see more Lindises on the battlefield. The video is about to be ended soon, so I wish you a pleasant evening. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As I said, leave it a thumbs up if you appreciated this kind of content, and stay healthy, have a nice evening, and be nice on the battlefield. Bye bye.